one is rationals. Remember, rational means ratio, which is a fraction. So your parent function is 1 over x. It's a fraction where your x is on the bottom. Your general form, y equals, you're going to have a plus or minus, 1 over, and then if I want to put a number with x, I have to put it on the bottom of the fraction where the x is. So if x is down here, my x minus h is going to be on bottom. My k is not in the fraction. So the one that's with x is going to be on the bottom with it. The other number is not going to be. Okay? So the plus, remember, this is going to be your corners here and here. Okay, if I put a negative on it, what do you think is going to happen? Instead of those corners, it's going to be, flip it, the other two corners. So if I'm doing this one, it would be here and here. So this is, if you know your quadrants, this is quadrant 1 and quadrant 3. But if you flip it, it's quadrant 2 and quadrant 4. Okay, so 2 would be here, 4 would be here. But I don't care if you know the numbers, okay, but you're going to hear me say, is it a 1, 3 or a 2, 4? And you should know the difference, okay? All right, the plus 3, which way am I going, left or right? Left, because if there's a plus with your x, you're going to do the opposite. If there's a minus, which way are we going? To the right. What about a plus k? Am I going up or down? For the k, do we switch the sign? No, so plus is up, minus is down. Okay, so let's do our first one. We need to find our center. I have a plus 3. Which way am I going, left or right? Left. Okay, to the left 3. And then minus 1 is down 1. Very good. Now what I want you to do is put a dot on that point on your paper. So negative 3, negative 1 is right there. Then with your pencil, I'm going to use a highlighter, but you're going to make basically a big plus sign and then draw in your corners. So my plus sign is going to be here and here. And then when I draw in, remember, you want to get really close to quadrants 1 and 3, but don't actually touch the line. So this one would be down here, and this one would be up here. So you're going to kind of think about, like, if you look at like a gun, like a sniper gun, you'd have that little plus. Okay, you're just rotating that around the graph. It always looks exactly the same, but you're just moving where it is on the graph. Okay? Look at number 2. Where's that one going to go? Left or right if it's x minus 2 on the bottom? Right 2 and up 4. So 2 comma 4 would be your center. Over 2 up 4 is right here. And then I'm going to trace in my plus sign because that's going to tell me where my borders are. Then from there, my graph is positive. That means I'm in quadrants 1 and 3. Top right and bottom left. So up here and down here. Go to the next one. How would number 3 be shifted? Which direction for the 2? To the left 2. What about the 5? Down. So I would go to the left 2, down 5. Once I get that point, I draw in my little crosshair, my little plus sign. And then from there, is this going to be a 1, 3 or a 2, 4? Okay. Yeah, if you look in the front, if it's positive, this is quadrant 1, and this is quadrant 3. Remember that it will switch to be a 2, 4, okay, if it has a minus in the front. So, speaking of minuses, look at the last one. Okay, we have a minus in the front. This one is going to be reversed. Okay, and remember that it's because of the minus sign that's right there. So if I have a plus 3, I'm going to the left 3. No number at the back means what's my y? 0. Negative 3, 0 is right there. Then I would draw in my little symbol thing here, my little plus sign. And notice that my x-axis is just, that part didn't change because I didn't go up or down at all. Then from there I would draw in, because it's a minus, I'm not in these two, I'm going to flip to be in these two. So I'm going to be here and here. Make sense? Okay, look at the last page, and we're going to just do a couple of the ones where you have the graph and you're going backwards to write the equation. Okay? Alright, so on this page, I'm going to write the choices in the top middle, and I want you to label them where they go. So we have x cubed, cubic root x, 1 over x. And then remember that you also had a whole bunch of choices yesterday that we'll have to think about as a review. Okay, so let's look at this very first one. Okay, is this one of the ones we learned today or a new one? Or a review one?
A review.
Review, what type?
A U.
It's a u. What's the parent function? X what?
X squared.
X squared. Okay, put a dot right here. This is my base. This is my vertex. Okay, how did the vertex move? What is the ordered pair?
-2, -5.
Okay, -2, -5. Now remember, when I plug those numbers in, the number that goes with x, I have to switch the sign on.
It's a +2.
Okay, so it's going to be a +2 with x. Okay, and does that make sense? Why? Because if I want to go to the left 2, I have to put a +2. And then the -5 goes at the back. Now, for the transformation here, we would have just put to the left 2, down 5. If it was flipped, you would want to write that in that same blank. But in this case, is it flipped? No, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay, next one. Look at this one. Graph number 2. Okay, x cubed, cubic root, or rational?
Rational.
Rational, very good. Which is which parent function?
1 over x.
Okay, 1 over x. Okay, then I'm going to draw in my little lines here. I can see that this is my line right here. Because do you see how it's getting really close to that line, but it doesn't touch on either side? Okay, what about my flat line across? Where should that line be? What number? 2. Very good. Okay, then I'm going to look at the center dot, and that's going to tell me how to shift it. So if I look right here, it looks like they moved it to the right 1, and then they moved it up 2. Very good. Okay, remember that the side-to-side number goes with x, so you have to change the sign. So if it's actually a forward one, I'm going to put 1 over x minus 1, because I always want to do the opposite for that. Y equals in the front. And then if I want an up 2, I would put that at the back, plus 2. Make sense? Okay, and we are skipping domain and range on these for right now. Okay, 2 more left. Hopefully you wrote these top 3 down so that when I go up, you still have them on your paper. Okay, look at the third graph right here. What type is that? X cubed. Very good. Because notice that your squiggle is up and down versus being sideways like this one. So this one is x cubed, which means that this one is what? Cubic root. Very good. And remember, it's just like a square root, you just tuck in a little 3 to the bendy part of the square root. Okay, let's look at this one. Now notice I put the points on here for y'all. Okay, so look at the first one right here. What is my transformation? Which way did it shift? To the right 4 and then up 2. So if it's to the right 4, what will I put with x? Plus or minus 4? Minus 4. And then for the up 2, I would just put a plus 2 at the back. Now, is it going uphill or downhill? Okay, that one's going uphill, so I don't put a negative in the front. Okay, last one. Okay, look at it. How's it shifted? Backwards, how many? 3 and up. 3. So to the left 3, up 3. Okay, new equation, y equals the cubic root of. What is going to go with x if I want to go to the left 3? Change the sign. X plus 3. Okay, then the up 3, I would put another plus 3. The first one should be under the house with your x. The second one should be off to the back. Are we done? No, what's wrong? It's downhill. I got to put a negative right there in the front. Make sense? Yes. Give me 1 second and then yes. Okay, look at your homework. Okay, I think that the back of your homework is wrong. So, take the back of your homework, and I'm going to give you a different paper. The copies on this day obviously got messed up. So, I want you to just X this out, and I'm going to give you a second paper to staple that's the real back. Okay? But I didn't want to put 1,000 copies on there. So, you are not doing this back. Okay, this is from your review that you're going to get tomorrow. So, if you do it, you're just kind of, I don't know, going to do the same problem twice. And then what I'm giving you right now is the real back, and I'll pass around the stapler. Got it? Okay. And now you can put it back. Well, if you need to go, you totally can. Okay, so everyone's clear what we're doing? Front of the first sheet, and then front of the second